Okay, folks, it's your buddy Mike Messier, Mike's Instant Movie Review. So, not another church movie. It's not a Tyler Perry movie. It's not another church movie. It's a parody, if you would, on Tyler Perry movies. Now, guess what? Should you go see this movie? Should you go not? I think there is an audience for this movie. I don't think I'm it. So I'll get into that in the full review. I think most people probably won't get much out of this movie, but there is an audience for it, and I want to discuss that now. So this might be a review that you want to watch before you go see the movie, because I'm going to kind of decode it and tell you, would you find this funny, amusing, entertaining, or whatnot? I kind of did for a while, and then I just kind of lost my interest in it. I was probably with this movie for 30 or 40 minutes. It seemed to be about an hour and 40 minutes, I would say. Some big-time players are in this thing, sort of. Jamie Foxx plays God. Mickey Rourke plays the devil. It was kind of obvious, to me at least, that they probably hired Mickey Rourke for one day of filming. Most of his stuff seemed to be filmed on a soundstage, and then they superimposed him in a couple of scenes with other characters, and then he would appear on a computer screen. Same thing with Jamie Foxx. They kind of had him at a board playing God, at like a heavenly board, like a board of people, like people that were kind of his angels or disciples, and then they would put God, Jamie Foxx's God, on a TV screen, even with like a crappy image, like a covered snowy image. So little tricks and techniques. I mean, those are big time expensive actors, folks, Jamie Foxx and Mickey Rourke. So it looks like maybe they hired Jamie for 2 days and probably Mickey for 1 day, but even just hiring those guys for a couple of days each is very expensive. So I give the filmmaker, I think the gentleman's name was Johnny Mac, credit. This was another one of those films, folks, like going back old school, Coming to America, and things like that, where a couple of key actors play 3 or 4 characters each, including female characters. And this is where I was a bit confused. And here's the thing, folks. When I have the subscriptions to these movie theaters, AMC in particular, and basically with a subscription, you can see a lot of movies pretty cheaply. And I don't put much effort into watching previews or like, I just go see the fucking movie. I don't watch other people's reviews before I go. I might watch a preview, but even if I haven't seen the preview in the actual theater, if I'm watching the preview on my phone, if I get a few seconds into the preview and it looks exciting or it looks like I want to see this movie, I'll just go see it, because I don't want the preview to give away all these key points that a lot of times previews do. In their effort to tempt you to go see the movie, a lot of times previews, in my opinion, give away too much as far as storyline and so forth. With this one, I just thought what I saw was good old-fashioned Medea, Tyler Perry's Medea character. I thought I was looking at Medea, so I wasn't. I thought I was going to go see a fucking Tyler Perry movie. I was in this goddamn movie for about 20 minutes before I realized this is not a Tyler Perry movie. That's not Tyler Perry. This is a mockery. And even at that point, I thought, is this like an officially endorsed Tyler Perry movie? Is he mocking himself? Because early on, there's a character named Taylor Ferry. That's how it's pronounced, Pharry. So they're obviously, as it turns out, they're mocking, I believe Tyler Perry is bisexual, or he's talked openly about being molested as a child, so or both. And so it seemed like this movie was kind of, in my opinion, going a little bit out of bounds. If the guy was the victim of sexual abuse as a kid, and now you're calling him Tyler Ferry or Taylor Ferry, I thought that's a little, I don't know if that's in good taste for comedy. I mean, not to be the fucking comedy police or whatever the fuck, but still, I don't know. I mean, it really felt like whoever made this movie, whether it's Johnny Mac or whoever the fuck made this thing, they have a real hard-on in a negative way for Tyler Perry. They really don't like the guy. It didn't seem like a good-natured rib, like a good-natured joke amongst friends. It seems like there was some type of business background, some type of deal went wrong between these folks who made this movie against Tyler Perry, because it seemed very mean-spirited for the most part, at least to my eyes, okay? And I'm not in the inner circles of these folks. Kind of wondering, you know, in some regard, I can understand Mickey Rourke doing this thing for the paycheck. I'm a little surprised that Jamie Foxx was in this movie, to be honest with you, because it kind of seems like slumming for Jamie Foxx, quite frankly. What else? The camera work was atrocious at times in this movie. Was the camera work supposed to be a parody of Tyler Perry's movies? And here's the other thing, in full disclosure, I haven't seen enough Tyler Perry movies in my day to really appreciate all the inside riffs and jokes and stuff. I think the last Tyler Perry movie I saw, I know I saw him in some of his action stuff or whatever that fuck that was, but I've seen some other things. I'm trying to remember what the fuck I saw. You know, the guy fucking a wife, fucking some other chick or whatever the fuck, fucking a white woman and not his wife. I think I saw that one, whatever that was called. That'd be a good title, fucking a white woman and not my wife. But basically, Madea goes to jail. I think there's been 2 of those, 2 or 3. And I think I saw the first one, and I was shocked and amused that he put Rudy as a fucking prostitute. You know, I was like, what the fuck? That's Rudy. You know, and like Rudy was all grown up and all sexualized and being a whore. And I was so shocked. So, but that's 20 fucking years ago. So here with this movie, there's a lot of references to Tyler Perry movies, obviously. Some even I could get with my limited knowledge of the Tyler Perry universe or whatever the fuck. But the ones that I got, I don't know if they were just funny or just references. You know what I mean? Like there was a lot of references to, oh, we do all these movies are going to be in jail. You know, okay. Here's the problem. You ready? Tyler Perry movies, I guess at least the Madea ones, are kind of parodies in the first place. You know, like Madea, in my interpretation, is Tyler Perry kind of mocking, you know, the big Southern grandma lady who cooks all the fucking brownies and chicken and makes everybody happy and has the sweet potato pie at the fucking picnic, but then she's talking shit about the whole family. So Madea is like a parody of the culture, as they say, okay? So now you have this guy, Johnny Mack or whoever the fuck, is basically doing a parody of a parody. Like, Madea itself is a parody character, and you're making a parody of a parody. So that's why a simpleton like, goddammit, I'm no fucking simpleton, but someone with limited knowledge of this world, myself, seeing the fucking image of what they called my dude, not Madea, but my dude, that's his, you know, parody version of Madea. I just thought it was fucking Madea because it just looked like Madea to me. You know, what the fuck do I know? But the point is, you're doing a parody of a parody. Well, guess what? Parodies in themselves are typically not funny. Like, they're really not. You have to have all this goddamn inside knowledge of the original source material. Then you have a parody. Well, now my dude is a parody of a parody. So the source of knowledge, or the source of truth, or whatever the fuck, is now 2 steps removed at least, because we're going from the real Southern black lady making the fucking pies and everything and making everybody happy and comfortable and being overbearing and all that shit. Now we're removing that to Madea, which is a parody, and now we have Madude, who's a parody of a parody. So it's like, asshole, this doesn't work. You know what I mean? Like, it's a funny riff if you're sitting around with your friends and goofing around and they, oh, we should make a movie called, Madude instead of Madea. Like, funny for 5 minutes, but to stretch that out into an hour and 45 goddamned minutes? No, you don't do that. Well, you do, because obviously it's here. But I don't know. It just seemed like a waste of resources. And to me, you ready? If you've got the time and energy to parody somebody else's fucking work or somebody else's efforts into humanity, then do you have the ability and the talent to make your own statement? Apparently not. You know what I mean? There's just so much shit in this movie. God, this was the worst. This is kind of maybe where I tapped out on this movie. There's this scene, there's this fucking kid. He's got a mom who looks like she's about 10 years older than him. And I was that a joke? I guess that was the joke. Like, the mom is a young slut mom or whatever the fuck. And then the kid's just sitting there on this vehicle, and he's talking to one of these other characters that's played by the same guy. There's like this one guy's playing three people. So they're sitting there, in the alleyway. And then this random guy who's wearing like a security outfit or a cop outfit comes up, and they're like, "Hey, who are you?" And he's like, "Well, I'm your father." And he's like, "But I'm 18 years old. I've never met you before." "Well, okay, son, do you have $20? Ooh, this is biting stuff, I guess. But then they have like a fucking shootout and a slow motion gun. And I caught this one. This was a riff of the end of Boys in the Hood, okay? And then the character, like, somebody gets shot, and then the character goes, "Ricky!" And he goes, "Oh, wrong movie, Mikey!" And it's like, movies, even parodies, folks, if you have to stop the action and the flow of your movie to announce that you're making a joke, you've lost. You've lost. It's not funny. You've been defeated, okay? So, I don't know. I just, like I said, is there an audience for this movie? Sure. I mean, people, basically this is the audience. It's like, if you've watched every fucking Tyler Perry movie, but you've hated them, or for some reason you watch all the Tyler Perry movies, but you hate his guts, or you think he's a loser, or whatever the fuck you think, then you'd probably like this movie. Because this is a movie for informed Tyler Perry fans that hate his ass. They hate him. That's the target audience. I don't know if enough folks are going to go see this thing to justify making the movie. I mean, to me, it's just frustrating. As you know, I'm a wonderful award-winning screenwriter. I have plenty of goddamn scripts that are better than this hunk of shit that should be being made, but they're not. So whatever the fuck. So I give this asshole credit for making his movie. Another goddamn thing, I was kind of losing my mind in this thing. Some things were making me laugh. There was one other person in the theater, he was laughing a lot. So like I said, he's probably a guy who knows all this shit. So then I fucking put on my phone. I'm like, I need to know what's going on with this thing. I need some research. What am I watching here? And that's when I get, like, oh, this is, even on the website, it says this is not a Tyler Perry movie. They're claiming on the website, this is the next great parody movie. No, assholes. That's for other people to determine. Other people will tell you if you've made the newest great parody movie. Not you. The title, it's a riff of, I think, the late 90s. Not Another Church movie. Was it Not Another Scary Movie? Was that it? Or not another teen movie, or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? So the parody movies, that whole thing has kind of come and gone. You know what I mean? Like, there was a time, well, you had Scream, but then you had like Scary Movie, the Wayans brothers, and they had like two good ones, and they all went to shit, okay? I remember in my movie-going days, I believe it was actually Scary Movie 4. I mean, I think it went that far. And I started to watch the movie, and then I was like, this movie just sucks. And I went to the box office, and I said, hey, can I have my money back? And they said, what do you mean? I said, this movie's just really bad. And they gave me the money back. And I left the theater because there was nothing else playing at the time. Like, the girl even said, well, do you want to see something else? And there was nothing playing at that time. So for the first and only time in my life, Scary Movie 4, I asked for my money back, and I received it because the goddamn movie was so atrocious. So my point is, these parody movies are hard to make, because you're trusting that the audience gives a flying shit as much as you do about the movies you're making fun of. That's why I said, that there's probably some audience for this thing, because there probably are people, just like there's smart wrestling fans, people who watch wrestling but hate what they're watching, or they're smart Star Wars fans, or they're smart DC and Marvel Comic Universe fans. They watch all the movies, they hate them, you know, they analyze them, they get all worked up about them, and of course, if every asshole who had an opinion was making movies, there'd be a lot of assholes making movies, okay? So, but for me, it's just like, I don't know, I just see this lack of resources. Oh yeah, let me get back to the camera work. Unless this was supposed to be some fucking parody or insult towards the Tyler Perry camera work, I thought it was just a thing when, like, one actor was playing Madood and then the regular version, and he's kind of in the same shot. Then you have like all these over-the-shoulder shots and really tight close-ups on the back of the head. But then that just became like the norm. Like, there was plenty of scenes where Madood was walking around and the other character played by the same actor wasn't in the same shot, and they're just having like the shot from behind, so you see the back of Madood's head, and I'm like, okay, what's going on here? Like, this was not good cinematography at all. So I mean, unless, like I said, if that was like some deep dive parody of Tyler Perry, then God bless you. But for me, it just looked like shit. It just looked like whoever the cinematographer was just half-assed, just not even adequate. I mean, there's some movies you go see and you don't think about the cinematography, and that's probably the best thing, because that means that the cinematography is servicing the story, not the story servicing the cinematography. Then there's other movies that people, you know, make a milkshake about because they're so wonderful cinematography, you know what I mean? And sometimes those movies are just relying on the good cinematography to coast through an otherwise not so great movie. This one, it's like the cinematography is not servicing the story. It's just jumping out as being bad, like not professional, not even average, but just like bad. Okay. And like I said, the whole thing with like, oh, we've got Mickey Rourke. Oh, we've got Jamie Foxx. Okay. You paid both of these. You probably paid Jamie Foxx for 2 days, which is a hell of a lot of money, even for 2 days. And probably Mickey Rourke you paid for a day. And, you know, a decent chunk of change going to those guys, but you're not paying them like a fucking DC Universe salary or whatever the fuck. You're not paying like the Iron Man 2 Mickey Rourke bill by any means. Anyway, so that's it, folks. Those are my thoughts. A good, I don't know, I was going to say a good try, but I mean, I just feel like something like this, the stuff that I understood was so mean-spirited, you know, making fun of this Tyler Perry guy, whatever his deal is, if he's gay or bisexual or he was molested as a child or whatever the fuck. His relationship with Oprah Winfrey, I mean, this character was kind of funny. Oprah Windfall was a direct insult, parody, as they say, to Oprah Winfrey. And like having God's cell phone number and stuff. I thought that stuff, I mean, it had potential and it was kind of funny in some regard. But like I said, you have to be deep into this shit to really get any of these jokes. And I guess I have one toe in the ocean of information about this stuff. But I just really felt like, okay, this gentleman, Johnny Mac, really fucking hates Tyler Perry's guts. He can say that it's a parody and it's a good-natured romp, but not really. I mean, it's a hit piece. It's basically what it is. It's a self-destruction of Tyler Perry movie. It's, let me shit all over this guy, his sexuality, his career, his livelihood, whatever he's accomplished. Let me just take an hour and 45 minutes drizzling shit on this guy's life and career and call it my movie. Okay, good for you. One thing that was interesting was towards the end of this thing, he's like, the Tyler Perry character is showing how he's like squeezing an intern for the screenwriting. And I thought that was kind of funny. Like, that was funny. Oh, you ready? The courtroom scenes, I believe it was Vivica A. Fox. Was that her as the fucking judge? Not Gabrielle Union, Vivica A. Fox, who I've always enjoyed her. But obviously all those courtroom scenes were filmed in one day, which is fine. The typing person, whatever the fuck, I think she was wearing the same outfit for both, or like 2 or 3, courtroom scenes. It takes, 10 minutes to change her out into a different outfit. They couldn't be bothered to do that. Also, there was this giant HD TV in the courtroom. And you're saying, well, so what? Here's a little new fucking pet peeve of mine with these movies, folks. If you go to a movie, you see a movie or a TV show, and there's like a scene where there's a giant HD TV in the picture. Like you're watching the movie, but in the background, there's this giant HD TV that's not plugged in. There's nothing on the screen. It's just there. It's entirely distracting. It's hack. So for whatever the fuck reason, there's this giant like 96-inch HD TV in the courtroom, and maybe there's a reason for that in real courtrooms. I don't know. I don't get arrested all the time, okay? But for me, it's just an eyesore. It's like you're taking up in the film that I'm watching. There's another screen, a screen within a screen that has nothing on it. It's serving no purpose. And it's not cinematic. It's not cinematic to have a giant fucking turned off, powered off HD TV in the middle of your shot. It doesn't look good. So, I mean, I always have to, it's like I have to reach my giant mind out and help everyone make their fucking movies because they don't realize what the hell they're doing. Same thing with this horse shit, folks. When you fucking make a movie and you have text bubbles on screen, so goddamn lazy, okay? Oh, the characters are texting, so here's the text bubbles on the fucking screen so you can read along. Well, Jiminy horse shit on a stick. I could have stayed home. Who gives a fuck? I mean, the texting on screen is atrocious. It's god fucking awful. So I don't know what to tell you. Actually, I don't think this movie did a whole lot of that I remember. But just the HD TV fucking thing, it's god awful. It really is. Oh, for Christ's sakes. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I really don't. I mean, just the Mickey Rourke character just magically superimposed into the fucking men's room scene. It's like, okay. You know, it just reeked of like cost cutting and laziness and horse shit and inside jokes that no one's going to give a fuck about. And whenever you make all these fucking pop culture jokes, oh, I'm making a reference to Kim Kardashian. Well, who gives a fucking 5 years? Well, I mean, in her case, she's been around forever, but other things like, you know, pop culture jokes, they don't stick to the wall, okay? Because pop culture changes so goddamn often. There was a reference in this thing to Oprah Winfrey. You get a car, you get a car, you get a car. Is it funny now? I mean, that was 10 years ago. This is 2024. When did that thing happen? 2014, 2015. So if this movie had come out then, it might have been funny 8 or 9 years ago. But now it's just horse shit. Okay? Mike Messier, go to my goddamn website, MikeMessier.com. Scroll to the bottom. Stand me on social. Gee whiz, Mike, you're such a critic of everything. Some of these asshole commenters have these asshole comments. Well, don't you just go to a movie and like it? Do you have to have an opinion? Like some asshole wrote that. Do you have to have an opinion? Okay, shit for brains. I mean, that's the whole point of Mike's Instant Movie fucking review, is my goddamn opinion, you shithead. So, I mean, I try to educate people, and people get upset because they don't want someone educated to educate them. But I'm trying to help the masses, assholes. Okay, MikeMessier.com. Buy all my books. Do everything I say. Goodbye.